A strange and mysterious story happened to me a few years back. At the time when most of the globe was staying at home, I lived in a small village in North Wales in the United Kingdom by the Fairy Falls. This is a country where mystical creatures outnumber humans, and it is known for its dark and mysterious history and for the wild, almost unreal nature that powerfully fights the unseen forces, dark energies. I spent almost 4 years in a tiny 300-year-old cottage. During that time, when most of us stayed indoors, I spent a few months winding down my company and wrapping up all unfinished affairs. Later that year, I had time to reflect on what was happening around me, and because I was really unable to go much further than the village itself, I grew restless. What happened next was quite strange, and I didn't know how to explain that logically. One night I woke up still being very restless with a desire to draw, but to draw what? I never drew in my life apart from some drawing classes. So I woke up with a desire to draw, but wasn't sure what to draw. So I turned my laptop on and started to look for drawing software in the middle of the night. I found quite a few, and it took me a few weeks, I think, to learn how to use the software and how to learn how to start drawing. Everything was new and quite challenging, and honestly I don't know what my motivation was. I just had an internal desire to do it, to draw. I would spend sometimes 12-15 hours a day behind my desk learning and messing around. I would just keep going, drawing anything, flowers, figures, until one day I ended up drawing a sketch of a beautiful woman. Years later, that beautiful woman became my first card from the deck of soulful qualities. At that time in Wales, I was keep drawing until I had about 50 pictures with more or less the same character, but having different facial expressions and different attires. After I drew 50, I stopped. The desire was gone. I just completed a task which I didn't know why. At that time, life took over and I got involved with other different projects and forgot all about my images that I created. A few years later, I lived in a different environment in Gloucestershire, still in the United Kingdom. One cold evening, I was in my house, in my another very old, probably 250 years old house. I suddenly remembered my images. I found them on my laptop. This is probably when everything started to come together. I always had a special interest in human soul and researched quite a bit. I read on it, pondered on it. By that time, I had a little bit of background in understanding what the human soul is, what it consists of, how it works. But I wanted to have something tangible that you can actually not just think about, but touch with your hands or look at with your own eyes, that is connected to a human soul. And I of course wanted to have something to help me to learn more about a soul, and not just me, but maybe to help others. But because I'm quite a visual person, I wanted to see how we can express the qualities of our souls. And this is when I actually remembered about those beautiful images that I created 4 years prior, while I was living in North Wales, in mystical, strange North Wales, when you really have difficulties to discern what is the reality and what are the tales that are not real. Anyway, I dug out the images, 50 images that I created then, and started to work on what each image represents, adding other visual components to each card, trying to express each soul quality that I wanted to reflect on. Well, obviously we have more than 50 soul qualities, but I decided this is what I'm going to limit myself to for now. Each image then became a card in a deck that we can work with and meditate on or ponder on, and hopefully each card that represents a human soul quality can be a help to us to learn more about ourselves and our souls and how we express those qualities in this reality. Today I present you the soul qualities deck and the companion books that I have written later on. My name is Diana. I work through the Threshold projects by creating tools and spaces for reflection and self-understanding. One of those tools is the Soul Qualities deck. The Threshold projects are the meeting point between seen and unseen. Here, inner and outer experience meet and real change begin. I build symbolic frameworks and inner architecture that help people translate subtle experiences into language, structure, and practice. In this presentation, I invite you to step behind the curtain of your inner life, meet the quiet forces shaping what you think, feel, and choose. Together, we will take a gentle tour of the Soul Qualities deck and its companion books. We will use them as a living, breathing map of your inner world. The art of self-development, cultivating the soul's positive qualities. We possess qualities that act as unseen magnets, drawing specific energies and experiences into our lives. Positive qualities serve as pool of energy, helping us to overcome challenges. In contrast, negative trials, passions, habits, and weaknesses drain our vitality and cloud our perspective. The soul's qualities are not static. Our choices and efforts shape them. When we cultivate positive qualities, we align the soul with the spirit, bringing clarity and strength to our lives. This alignment serves as a foundation for physical, mental, and emotional health, as the spirit energy flows unobstructed. However, when our subconscious and our unexamined habits and impulses take control, it often leads to imbalance and even illness. The journey of self-development is not merely personal. It ripples outwards, influencing how we engage with others and the world. A soul attuned to positive qualities radiates strength and compassion, inspiring others to do the same. By committing to this inner work, we not only improve our own lives, but also contribute to greater harmony. Why engage in soul work? The impulse to explore the soul often comes during life transitions or emotional shifts. Soul work is not about performance or perfection, but about integrating and being present with our whole selves. Soul qualities. What are they? Soul qualities are our inner states that are felt, not forced. They arise from deep listening, even when dormant or hidden. This deck is not a tool for self-judgment, but for honest witnessing, including clarity, uncertainty, pain, or potential. How the deck supports your journey. Each card offers an entry point, a word, an image, and an energetic invitation. The deck is not meant to deliver answers, but to create space for insights. Over time, it reveals patterns, emotional undercurrents, strength, and area for growth. The role of the deck and the cards. This deck is a practical tool to support your self-development. Each card represents a specific soul quality, an inner strength that, when cultivated, brings you closer to a state of harmony between body, soul, and spirit. The cards are not just symbols or abstract ideas. They are reflections of living forces within you. By working with the deck, you engage directly with those forces, supporting positive qualities and recognizing areas where imbalance may be present. Each draw invites you to reflect on how those qualities shape your thoughts, actions, and experiences. The cards serve as both a mirror and a guide. As a mirror, they reflect your current state, revealing the soul qualities that are active or underdeveloped or maybe in need of refinement. As a guide, they point towards specific steps you can take to embody those qualities more fully. Whether you seek clarity in a different moment or insight into a personal challenge, or inspiration for growth. The cards offer a pathway to deeper self-awareness. The wisdom they carry is not static. It evolves with you, reflecting your inner path and the lessons that unfold along the way. More than a divination tool, this deck is an instrument for transformation. Each card invites you to engage with its energy consciously, whether through reflection, action, or intention. By working with the cards, you begin to notice patterns, revealing the qualities that required your attention and those that are becoming strength. This active engagement helps inner balance, empowering you to bring the best of yourself into every aspect of your life. Through this deck, you're invited not only to understand the soul qualities, but to live them, creating a life where body, soul, and spirit move in unified, purposeful harmony. Living with the soul qualities. The journey through this deck is not about passive reflection, it's about embodiment. Each card holds a key to a quality that already exists within you, waiting to be recognized, nurtured, and expressed. The more you engage with the cards, the more those soul qualities become a natural part of your life. Here are 3 ways to work with the deck. One of the simplest ways is to draw a single card daily or weekly and let the energy of that card shape your thoughts, actions, and awareness. The card you pull is not random. It reflects something meaningful about your current state, the experiences you are integrating, or a quality that can support you. To deepen your connection to the card's message, create a personal affirmation based on its essence. If you draw clarity, for example, you might affirm, "I see truth with ease and focus." If presence appears, your affirmation could be, "I am fully engaged in this moment." Repeat the affirmation throughout the day, writing it down or speaking it aloud when you need a reminder. The simple act of affirming a quality reinforces it in your subconscious and conscious, making it easier to embody. Another way to engage with the card is to ask yourself, how can I express this quality today? The answer might be an intentional action. For example, listening deeply to someone if you draw resonance, making a decision with confidence if you draw certainty, or appreciating beauty in your surroundings. If you draw beauty, even small gestures can align you with the card's energy. Deepening understanding through visual meditation. The visual elements of each card are not just decorative. They're part of the message. The colors, symbols, and composition all contribute to the deeper meaning of the soul quality. Instead of immediately reading the description, take a moment to simply look at the card. Notice which details stand out to you. Are those certain colors that invoke a feeling? Does the imagery remind you of an experience, a sensation, or an insight? A simple practice is to hold the card and take a few slow breaths while focusing on its image. Let your mind soften and allow any intuitive impressions to arise. You might ask, what is this card trying to tell me today? Sometimes meaning comes in words, but often it emerges as a feeling, a memory, or a subtle inner knowing. Trust what arises. This personal connection is just as valuable as any written description. If you want to go further, you can visualize yourself stepping into the energy of the card. Imagine embodying the quality completely. How would you move, speak, and interact with the world? By mentally immersing yourself into the essence of the card, you begin to integrate its energy into your being. Exploring qualities through practical reflection. While pulling a card can reveal what you need to focus on, the real transformation happens when you apply those insights into your daily life. After drawing a card, take a moment to reflect on how this quality already exists within you. Ask yourself, where do I already express this? Where can I invite more of it? For example, if you pull inner strength, consider moments in your life where you have acted bravely, even in small ways. Recognizing past expressions of the quality increases your ability to embody it more consciously. Then, identify a way to cultivate it further, perhaps by speaking up in a situation where you might normally stay silent, or by taking a step forward, something that scares you. If you draw a card and feel disconnected from that quality, don't be discouraged. Instead, see it as an invitation. Qualities like stillness and grace, for example, can be challenging, but they often appear when they are most needed. Rather than forcing the quality, observe opportunities to practice it in small ways. Tips for daily engagement. Begin your day by drawing a card as a focus. Use journaling prompts in the evening. Track patterns and changes using the diary. Display a card or a poster as a reminder of the day's theme. Practical thoughts. Working with this deck is not about mastering all the qualities at once. It is about growing into them, step by step. Over time, you will notice patterns in the cards you pull, revealing ongoing themes in your personal evolution. The more you engage with those qualities, the more they become second nature, shaping the way you move through life. Let the deck be a companion on your journey, not a set of rigid rules, but a source of insight, inspiration, and self-discovery. With each draw, you are invited to deepen your connection to the qualities that make your soul shine. Working with a multidimensional lens. Each card speaks to you on emotional, symbolic, archetypal, and spiritual levels. Depending on your life context, the same card may resonate differently at different times. Those tools are not about achieving mastery. It's about cultivating awareness. Each card is an invitation to meet life more soulfully. Over time, this practice becomes a living relationship with language, spirit, and self. The Soul Qualities Oracle deck was never meant to give you answers. It was meant to deepen your questions. It was meant to help you listen more honestly, speak more precisely, and live more fully. And if you followed this journey with presence, that process is already underway. While working with the deck, you can practice slowing down, listening inwardly, engaging with symbols and words as mirrors of your own experience, inviting stillness, even in discomfort, tracking emotional and energetic patterns without judgment, and asking better questions instead of forcing neat conclusions. Soul qualities are not just abstract ideas. They are living energies, often subtle, sometimes fierce. They shape how you meet the world and how you meet yourself. Using the deck, you can learn to witness your reactions, your resistance, and your longing. You can build relationship with qualities like compassion or inner power, not as performance, but as presence, already within you, waiting to be seen. Soul practice is not linear. Some weeks will feel rich and full of insight. Others may feel confusing, dry, or uneventful. This is the rhythm of honest inner work. This deck will resonate with you differently depending on your stage of life. What feels obvious today may open in new ways months from now. A card you struggled with before may become your companion later. Let the work spiral. Let it change. You're welcome to revisit, to forget and return, to doubt and re-enter. The soul doesn't measure progress in straight lines. It pays attention to depth, to sincerity, to presence. Books. The companion books are an integral part of the deck. They are designed to illuminate the symbolism woven in each card's imagery. The books offer a rich blend of archetypal, esoteric, and cosmic insights. They provide a deep dive into the symbolic language of the soul qualities in each card and support self-awareness through visual storytelling. Support for facilitators. If you are called to support others, the deck and the books provide a framework for structuring sessions or open discussions and for holding space without direct interpretation. Group practice. Start with a clear intention for the session. What is it? Study, contemplation, or healing? Explain the deck simply and allow individual interpretations. Establish group agreements for pacing and confidentiality. Encourage openness and silence as valid responses. Simple entry points. Single card draw. Use this or without question. Weekly anchor. Let one card unfold over time. 3 card spread. Explore present energy, challenge, and support. Facilitating for others. It's not about interpreting for them, but instead holding a space for reflection. Offer the card, share from the guidebook if desired, and ask, what does this bring up for you? How does this quality show up in your life right now? Always begin by listening. This is not a practice of certainty, but of presence. If you are continuing this work with others, remember, guidance begins with listening. You are not teaching soul qualities. You are inviting presence. You are not explaining the cards. You are holding space for others to see themselves more clearly. The more honest and grounded your practice, the more naturally your facilitation will flow. Create spaces where people can be quiet without being rushed, where insights are welcomed but not required. Be patient, be curious. Let the deck to do its subtle work, and trust that the depth your model creates, the depth others will feel. Integration beyond the deck. How will you carry what you have discovered into your life as living truth? Ask yourself, what soul qualities have emerged most often in my practice? Which ones challenge me? And which ones feel like home? What internal shifts do I sense, even if I can't name them fully? Where in my daily life am I invited to embody this work? Integration is not about trying harder. It's about trusting that the quiet work of inner listening has already begun shaping how you live, relate, and choose. Even a single moment of genuine reflection can transform your entire week. Even one word drawn from the deck and held sincerely can anchor your awareness in something that is more profound than distraction or fear. After working with the deck for a while or completing the guidebooks, you might want to ask, what has been revealed to me? Take a moment to reflect. What have those tools revealed to you? Not just in terms of insight, but in terms of capacity. What in you has become more present, more awake? Has a new language emerged for something that you have been long felt, but never named? Have you met a part of yourself you used to avoid? Have you found a new way to make space for others? Not by fixing, but by being present and witnessing. Those are not small things. This is soul work, and it's sacred. No mastery required, only willingness. The Soul Qualities Oracle deck is not a path towards self-mastery. It is an invitation towards self-relationship. It asks you not to become a perfect version of yourself, but to become more honest, more spacious, more attuned. It asks you to hold your experiences with compassion, to meet contradiction with openness, to relate to yourself as something more profound than a personal story or a personality. You are not here to master the cards. You are here to let them meet you, and in doing so, meet more of yourself. A final blessing. May this work stay with you quietly, in your breath, your posture, your language. May the soul qualities continue to rise in you, not as tasks, but as guides. May you keep asking honest questions. May you welcome your reflection. May you trust the quiet unfolding of who you already are. When the guidebooks are complete, your journey is not ending. It is only beginning again, with more presence, more awareness, and more truth. Let it be enough. Let it be more than enough. Before we part, I would like to leave you with one quality that you can take with you. My favorite is love. Not as emotion, but as a quality that we can cultivate. I will read a short passage on love from each book, so you can feel how the same quality reveals itself from different angles. As you listen, simply notice your inner responses, sensations, images, words, memories. When you notice those sensations, this is how the deck is functioning as a tool for honest witnessing. Don't analyze, just register what you recognize. That recognition is the beginning of change. Love, quality description. Love is unifying force that connects all beings and energies in the universe. It transcends boundaries, challenges, and separations. Love is the ability to give freely, without expectations, and to receive with an open heart. It is compassion, empathy, and care, expressed through actions, words, and energy. Love is both a feeling and a state of being, where we see others as extensions of ourselves and are moved by their joy, pain, and humanity. It's a force that elevates us, providing both deep connection and immense freedom. Love is, in essence, the force that creates wholeness and harmony in the universe. What this quality is not. Love is not attachment, possessiveness, or dependency. It is not about conditional acceptance or seeking to control others. Love does not demand or manipulate. It simply exists as an expression of unconditional care and understanding. It is not about sacrificing your own needs, but rather balancing giving and receiving in a way that nurtures that connection. If a person draws the card, when love appears, it signifies a deep call to connect with others from a place of authentic care and understanding. This card encourages you to open your heart and embrace the love that is already present in your life. Whether in relationships, your work, or in broader connections to the world, this card invites you to give and receive love in abundance, knowing that it enriches every area of your life. If the card is drawn upside down, reversed, when reversed, love suggests there may be some blockages or fears that prevent love from flowing freely. You may be holding into past hurts or disappointments, or you may be struggling to fully open your heart. Reversed, this card invites you to examine where love is being restricted, whether in relationships, self-love, or your ability to experience compassion, and encourages healing in those areas. Recommendations for practices when the card is upright. To cultivate love, focus on actions that connect you with others, whether through acts of kindness, communication, or simply being present. Practice empathy by putting yourself in another's shoes and extending care. Allow yourself to be vulnerable and express affection freely without fear or rejection. In all things, choose love over fear and seek to build bridges, not walls. Recommendations for practices when the card is reversed. If love is reversed, take time to reflect on where love feels blocked in your life. Are there past wounds or fears that you need to release? Engage in practices that allow you to soften your heart, whether through self-compassion, forgiveness, or giving love to yourself. Reconnect with people who make you feel safe and supported, and allow love to flow back into your life without restrictions. Developing this quality. To develop love, practice living from your heart space. Let go of judgment, resentment, and expectations, and embrace unconditional love in all forms. Focus on fostering genuine, meaningful connections with those around you and cultivate self-love by accepting your own worth and uniqueness. Love will flourish when you release barriers and allow it to flow freely from within. Love is the field of connection that unifies all life. It is the essence that softens the heart, bridges separation, and affirms the inherent value of being. Love is not only affection, it is recognition, devotion, and deep regard. When awake, it brings communities, mends wounds, and transforms fear. When shadowed, it can become attachment, dependency, or sentimentality. Foundational insight. Love is the energy that says, I see you, and you matter. It affirms worth and beauty in all forms. It cannot be earned or withdrawn. It simply is. When you align with love, we become safe harbors, powerful healers, and sources of peace. Love does not erase difference, it honors it. Multidimensional perspectives. Love heals on all levels. Physically, it supports the immune system and eases pain. Emotionally, it brings comfort and resilience. Mentally, it reframes conflict into an opportunity for compassion. Spiritually, it unites the soul with the sacred and reminds us of our eternal belongings. Philosophical and ethical. Love is a guiding ethic that asks us to respond with care, to uphold dignity, and to create justice. It sees the relationship as sacred, not transactional. Love doesn't deny boundaries, it holds them wisely. In philosophy, love is the force that animates truth into goodness. Spiritual and mystical traditions, love is the highest form of knowing. Divine love dissolves illusion and draws the soul back to its source. It is the pulse of unity within diversity. Energy dynamics. Love is magnetic, coherent, and harmonizing. It soothes energetic discord, attracts aligned relationships, and raises vibrational resonance. It moves gently, yet powerfully, especially through the heart field and the hands. Archetypal and symbolic. The rose represents unfolding beauty and heart truth. Heart symbolizes openness and soul recognition. The embrace conveys a sense of safety and mutual presence. The lotus is love rising from shadow into grace. Pairs and families reflect bounded devotion and interconnection. Astrological correspondence. Venus governs love, beauty, attraction, and relationships. Libra brings harmony and mutuality. Pisces brings soul compassion and unconditional devotion. The moon reflects the nurturing, intuitive expression of love. Numerological association. 6 is the number of heart-centered service, harmony, and sacred balance. It is the vibration of devotion, care, and healing through connection. Elemental correspondence. Water and air. Water brings empathy, tenderness, and sense of bonding. Air provides perspective, communication, and gentle touch. Together they support emotional clarity and kind expression. Chakra alignment. Heart chakra, center of compassion, connection, forgiveness, and joy. A balanced heart chakra allows love to flow in and out with ease. It integrates self-love with love for others. Love softens the aura and enhances receptivity. It creates a field of warmth and emotional resonance that others feel. In the astral body, it restores harmony. In the etheric realm, it supports gentle restoration and alignment with one's soul tone. Esoteric insight. Love is not a sentiment, it is a state of attunement. In esoteric teachings, love is the energetic bridge between the personal and the universal. In the mysteries, love is what endures beyond death. Tarot correlations. The Lovers, alignment, choice, union. The Empress, nurturing love and beauty. Two of Cups, partnership and mutuality. Queen of Cups, emotional depth and compassion. Seasonal and natural rhythm alignment. Spring and early summer carry the essence of love in bloom. Times of tenderness, renewal, and open-heartedness. Full moon also awaken love expression. Psychological and healing. Love is the healing agent behind all transformation. It holds space for grief, accepts imperfection, and softens the response to trauma. It replaces self-rejection with self-regard and restores emotional trust. Behavior impact. Love is expressed through kindness, attentiveness, and care. It doesn't need grand gesture. Genuine presence is enough. Love listens. It comforts. It shows up. Visual interpretation of the card. A golden-robed woman stands radiant with love. In one hand, she offers a purple lotus, symbol of transcendent love. On the other hand, she holds delicate flowers of sincerity. Around her are couples, children, animals, and hearts in every form, signifying the universal spectrum of love. The presence of owls, butterflies, and dancing figures reflects the joy, wisdom, and movement of love. From innocence to intimacy to divine connection, love saturates the entire image. Journal prompts. Where is love asking to be expressed more freely in your life? How do I experience love when I am alone? What does love feel like in my body? How can I act from love rather than from fear or habit? Embodiment practice. Place your hand over your heart and take a deep breath. Visualize a warm pink or emerald light expanding with each breath. Imagine sending this light to someone you love. Then bring it back and send it to yourself. Let it flow in both directions until there is no separation. Integration prompt. I am love, and I offer it freely, without conditions or fear. Use card 2. Restore connection, open the heart, soften judgment, or strengthen bonds. Use during relational work, grief processing, self-worth practice, or sacred union meditations. Additional intuitive insights. Love isn't something you find, it's something you remember. It lives in you already, waiting for permission to flow. Professional and personal relevance. In healing work, love holds space for transformation. In leadership, it fosters trust. In relationships, it invites presence. Personally, it is the balm in the blessing. Choose love, not for approval, but for truth. Let it be the atmosphere you live in.